Alright, catch up cram session part 2, and as almost always, I just forgot I did it for the last video. If you're starting here, go back to part 1 so you can actually start from the beginning. As I train my body, I get a feel for my magic circuit, the flow of my blood, the creaking of my bones, and the distortion of my thoughts that happens when my body is tired.
120 150 170
120, 150, 170. Even just simple push-ups, if you shackle your heart instead of weighing down your body, become training for your magic circuit. For me, who doesn't have a proper teacher of magic, even this exercise that's no different from a club's morning practice is important training. Good morning, Senpai. Have you already finished this morning?
朝食の支度なら済んでる。あとは食器の支度と魚に火を通すだけ。
Yeah, if you're asking about breakfast, it's already done. All that's left is to get the dishes out and cook the fish.
それならお手伝いします。食器の支度は任せてください。
Well, in that case, I'll help. Please let me get the dishes out. Sakura nods enthusiastically. And behind that noble kohai...
この匂いはシローの卵焼きね。そっか、今朝はシローの朝ごはんなんだ。
Oh, it was Shiro's omelet that I smelled. I see you're making breakfast today, Shiro. Fujine moves lazily over to the dining table.
まあ、あれは放っておいて。
Well, I'll just leave that alone for now. I need to cook the fish that I prepared.
さくら、皿は真ん中のやつ使ってくれ。その方がうまく見えるから。
Sakura, use the plates in the middle. They'll look the best.
この表面がブツブツのですか？
Huh? You mean these spotted ones?
そうそれ。焼き物は皿にも気を配らないと手抜かりになるからな。で、大根はもう吸ってあるから。
Yeah, those. If you don't pay attention to how the food matches the plates, that's a mistake too. Oh, the daikon is already grated, so... With a grunt, Sakura reaches her hand into the back of the drawer and pulls out some plates. As she leans forward, I think I see a faint bruise on Sakura's wrist.
さくら、ちょっと待った。
Wait a second, Sakura. Yeah, ditto there.
はい。何ですか、先輩？
Yes? What is it, senpai?
その手首のあざ、なんだ？
What's that bruise on your wrist? Sakura awkwardly averts her eyes. Okay, Rin sees her with Gilgamesh tonight. So, maybe she was taking desperate measures or something? And with that, I know who gave her that bruise.
またシンジか。あいつ、妹に手をあげるなんて何考えてやがる。
Shinji again? Raising his hand against his little sister. What's that scumbag thinking? Yeah, agreed.
違います先輩。これは転んでぶつけちゃったんです。ほら、私鈍いでしょ？
That's not it, senpai. I knocked it against something when I fell over. Look, I'm pretty clumsy, right? I'm gonna walk you home tonight. Your brother's about to knock something of his against something when he falls over.
だからよく転んで怪我ばっかりしてるんです。
Yeah, I bet. So I fall down and hurt myself all the time.
バカ、転んだぐらいでそんなあざがつくか。信じたやつ、どうやらまだ殴られ足りないみたいだな。
Don't be stupid. Like, you can get a bruise like that falling over. I guess Shinji isn't tired of getting hit yet. Sell tickets. I want to watch.
ダメです先輩。これ本当に兄さんは関係ないんです。私が一人で怪我をしただけなんですから、先輩に怒ってもらう資格なんてありません。
And no, you can't, senpai. Really, my brother has nothing to do with this. I just hurt myself, so there's no reason for you to get angry about it, senpai. With that, Sakura falls silent. She looks quiet and obedient, but Sakura has a relatively stubborn streak. No matter what I say here, it'll probably backfire. So, don't say anything. Just, find some book or music CD, something she might like that, you think she'd appreciate, and pop by her house unannounced. Who knows what you'll see her brother do.
わかった。さくらがそう言うんならそういうことにしておく。
I get it. If you say that's how it is, I'll take your word for it. But secretly...
はい。ごめんなさい、先輩。
Yes, I'm sorry, senpai.
だからどうしてそこでさくらが謝るんだ。悪いのはシンジだろう。
What are you apologizing for? Shinji's the one at fault, right? Now would be a good time for some inner thoughts. Secretly... The instant that Shinji's name comes out of my mouth, Sakura looks away awkwardly. In short, that's the reason for the bruise on Sakura's wrist. Matou Shinji. Sakura's older brother has a bad habit of making things hard on his little sister. I first found out about that about a year ago. And you've been doing what since then? Sakura would get hurt sometimes, and when I asked about what happened, she would always try to dodge the question. And you've been doing what about it since then? That bothered me, so I asked Shinji, and of all the things that could happen, the sucker told me that he'd hit her himself. If you did anything other than call the cops after that, I'm abandoning you as a protagonist. When I pressed him on why he hit her, he answered that he just hit her because he was unhappy with her. Seriously, I'm not the biggest cop fan, but... get them on the line. After that, I snapped and did exactly what he'd done to Sakura to Shinji himself. Bit reckless, but more satisfying. Okay, you get a pass there. Shinji and I mostly stopped talking after that. Yeah, I bet. Even now I don't regret that I hit him. Good! But I also think that the reason he started treating Sakura so much harshly is undoubtedly my fault.
Senpai, 兄さんとは仲直りしてくれましたか?
Senpai, have you and Nissan made up?
したよ。別に初めから喧嘩なんてしてないから仲直りも何もないけどな。
Yeah, we did. We weren't really fighting in the first place, so we didn't really have to make up or anything.
先輩にとってはそうでしょうけど、兄さんにとっては喧嘩をしたことになるんです。だから気をつけてください。
That may be how it was for you, Senpai, but for my brother it was a fight. So, well, please be careful. Call the police. Sakura says something strange.
気をつけろってシンジが？
Be careful? Of Shinji?
はい、兄さん、先輩を目の敵にしてるって聞きました。先輩が退部するようになったのも兄さんのせいだって。
Yes, I heard that he's holding a grudge against you. People say that it was his fault that you withdrew from the club as well.
それは違う。部活を辞めたのはシンジとは関係ない。いや、そりゃ多少はあったかもしれないけど、そんなのはさくらが気に病むことじゃないぞ。確かにシンジの言う通りちょっと見苦しいからな、これは。
That's not true. My quitting the club had nothing to do with Shinji. Well, no, he might have had something to do with it, but it's not something that you need to worry about. Like Shinji says, this is definitely pretty ugly. I point to my left shoulder. I have a bit of a scar on it. It happened about 1.5 years ago. While I was working, a package fell down and injured my left shoulder. The injury itself was just a broken bone, but the package was hazardous and it left a little bit of a burn mark on my skin. After that accident, I quit the archery club. I guess the archery club at our school places a lot of weight on formality. Even students are made to shoot ceremonially. In men's ceremonial shooting, they bare their left shoulder and shoot with their skin exposed. Shinji pointed out that it's unsightly to let someone with a burn scar on their shoulder shoot like that, and I was getting pretty busy with work at that time, so I quit the club.
先輩、しつこいようですけど、本当にもう弓は引かないんですか？藤村先生も怪我なんて支障はないって言ってるのに。
Senpai? This might be too persistent, but are you really not going to practice archery anymore? Fujimura-sensei says that your injury isn't any kind of a problem.
何を平和な。藤姉は全身骨折しようが支障ないっていうやつだぞ、さくら。
Of course she does. Fujine would say it wasn't a problem even if I broke every bone in my body.
先輩、私真面目な話をしているんです。
I'm being serious, Senpai. Sakura looks at me with upturned eyes, as though there's something she wants to say. In that case, I have to answer seriously as well, but unfortunately I can't give Sakura the answer that she wants.
当分は部活をしている余裕はないよ。弓は好きだけど、優先するべきことじゃないし、しばらくは間を取ろうと思う。
I don't have time to be part of a club right now. I like archery, but it's not something I should prioritize, so I thought I'd take a break for a while.
しばらくってどのくらいですか？
How long is a while?
気が向いた頃かな。まあ、さくらが卒業するぐらいまでにはなんとか。その時はよろしくな、さくら。
Until I feel like it, I guess. Until I feel like it, I guess. Well, we'll figure something out before you graduate. I'll be counting on you then, okay, Sakura? I clap my hand on her shoulder. After Sakura looks at me surprised for a brief moment.
はい、私その時をお待ちしています。
Yes, I'll be waiting. She says, nodding so enthusiastically it seems like she might drop the plates. It's almost 7:30. Sakura and Fujine, who have morning club activities, have long since left the house. Issei called me in yesterday, so I went to school early, but this morning I leave the house at my usual time. When I come down to the intersection, I'm greeted by a sight I haven't seen before. Several police cars are parked out in front of one of the houses. I guess there was some kind of a ruckus. The atmosphere around here is busy and confused, and there's a crowd of more than 10 or 20 people gathered around. I'm curious, but with the crowd of people in the way, I can't tell what's happened. I don't have time either, so right now school comes first. I don't remember that, Isreen. I arrived 10 minutes before the warning bell. As I unhurriedly passed through the gate like always. Yo, morning, Emiya. I run into a familiar girl.
なんだ、まだ着替えてないのか、三つ釣り。もうすぐホームルームだぞ。俺に挨拶なんかしてる場合じゃないだろう。
What, you're not changed yet, Mitsuzuri? It's almost time for homeroom. This isn't really the time to be saying hi to me, is it?
いや、ごもっとも。相変わらず釣れない野郎だね、エミヤは。
No, you're absolutely right. You're as unsympathetic as always, eh, Emiya? I don't know what's so funny, but she laughs heartily without any regard for the people around. Mitsuzuri Ayako. We were classmates in first year, and now she's the captain of the archery club. She's so prudent and level-headed that you wouldn't think that she was a student. A heroine who's been expected to succeed to the captaincy since first year. Well, in short, her emotional age is higher than her real age, and she's like an older sister whom everybody has relied on since we were first years. Though Mitsuzuri herself would get mad if you said that, I'm not that old is something she says all the time.
あ？今あんた、よからぬ感想を漏らさなかったかもし。
Hey, you weren't thinking something bad about me just now, were you?
そんなものは漏らさない。あくまで客観的な事実を連想しただけだ。それで気を悪くするのは三つ釣りの勝手だが。
I wouldn't think something like that. I was just making an entirely objective association. Though if you want to take it badly, that's your prerogative.
お、言うじゃん。いいね。正直に答えるくせに何をどう考えてたかは口にしないんだもの。
Oh, you're good. Well played. You answered directly and honestly, but you didn't say the first thing about what you were actually thinking.
エミヤ、シンジと違って隙がないな。
You keep your guard up, Emiya. Not like Shinji.
シンジ？なんでそこにシンジが出てくるんだ？
Shinji? What's he got to do with this?
なんでも何も、あんたとシンジって友人じゃない。
At this point, I would say no. What? Nothing. He's your friend, isn't he?
シンジの男友達ってあんただけでしょ。それにお忘れでしょうが、私これでも弓道部の首相なの。うちの問題児と辞めちまった問題児をくっつけるのは自然な流れだと思わない？
You're the only guy friend Shinji has, right? Guys that beat their little sisters don't deserve friends of any gender. Besides, you might have forgotten, but I'm still the captain of the archery club. Don't you think it's only natural to relate our current problem child to the problem child who quit?
まあ確かに自然だ。弓道部ってのは関係ないけど、俺とあいつは腐れ縁だからな。
Yeah, that is definitely natural. Doesn't have anything to do with the archery club, but we've known each other a long time.
あ、カチンときた。あんたね、弓道部の話になると急に冷たくなるでしょ。
Oh, really, guy? You suddenly get all cold whenever the archery club comes up.
いいご身分よね。シンジをほっぽっといて自分はさっさと退場しちゃうんだから。後に残された私とかさくらの気持ちとか少しは考えてくれてもいいんじゃない？
Must be nice. You were able to just ditch you were able to just ditch Shinji and get out. But how about thinking about the people you left behind, like me and Sakura for once?
シンジのやつまたなんかやったのか？
Did Shinji do something again?
あいつが何もやらない日なんてないけど。
Not a day goes by when he doesn't do something.
まあ、それにしても昨日のはちょっとやりすぎか。
Well, yesterday he went a bit too far even for him. Run these hands.
男子が一人辞めたぐらいだから。
One of the first year boys quit over it. Run these hands. Mitsuzuri sighs gravely. It's rare for her to make that kind of a face, and more than that, I can't ignore what she just said. Yeah, neither can I.
なんだよそれ。部員が辞めたってなんだよ。
And what exactly is that? Why did he quit?
シンジのやつが八つ当たりしたのよ。わざわざ女子を集めてね、夢を持ったばかりの子にシャをさせて的中するまで笑い物にしたとか。
Because Shinji went and tore him up. He went out of his way to gather up all the girls, made this kid who just picked up a bow shoot for them, and made a laughingstock of him until he made a hit or something. This guy!
はあ？お前、そんな馬鹿げたことを見過ごしてたってのか？
Good question. What? And you let him get away with that nonsense?
見過ごすか？けどさ、首相ってのはいろいろと忙しいんだ。いつも道場にいるわけじゃないってエミヤだって知ってるでしょ？
Of course not. But being the captain is a busy job. You of all people should know that I can't always be in the dojo, Emiya.
それはそうだが。にしても、何考えてんだ、シンジのやつ。必要以上に厳しく教えることはあっても、素人を見せ物にするようなやつじゃないだろう。
Yeah, that's true. But even so, what's Shinji thinking? There might be ways to teach that are stricter than they need to be, but turning an amateur into something to be gawked at isn't even that.
呆れた。エミヤっては本当にあれだ。
Give me a break. You really are one of those, aren't you, Emiya?
あれってなんだ？今お前、よからぬ感想を漏らさなかったか？
And what are those exactly? You were thinking something bad about me just now, weren't you?
あら、私はあくまで客観的な事実を連想しただけさ。それで気を悪くするのはエミヤの勝手だね。
Yeah, you should have seen that coming. Oh? I was just making an entirely objective association. But if you want to take it badly, that's your prerogative, of course.
ついさっき聞いたような返答をしやがって。
You turning around a quip you only just heard.
いいよ。それよりシンジはどうしたんだよ。なんだってそんな真似をしたんだ。
Well, whatever. More importantly, what about Shinji? Why would he do something like that?
聞いた話じゃ、遠坂にこっぴどく振られたとかなんとか。
From what I heard, he got savagely rejected by Tosaka or something. Tsundere as a trope has always been hit or miss for me, but I'm starting to kinda like this Tsundere, I guess.
遠坂ってあの遠坂か？
Tosaka? You mean that Tosaka?
うちの学校にあれ以外の遠坂なんていないでしょ。
Is there another Tosaka at our school?
2年 A 組の優等生、ミスパーフェクトこと遠坂凛よ。
Class 2A's honor student, Miss Perfect Tosaka Rin.
いや、そんなあだ名は初めて聞いたけど。
Well, that's the first time I've heard that nickname, though. But having heard it, I can agree with it. It's definitely possible that Tosaka would turn Shinji down, and more than anything... Tosaka seems like she'd probably say something totally merciless even for turning down a date.
ともかくシンジのやつは昨日からずっとその調子よ。
Anyway, Shinji's been like that since yesterday.
おかげで私もこんな時間まで道場で目を光らせてたってわけ。
So thanks to that, I've been keeping a close eye on the dojo until just a few minutes ago.
シンジのやつ変にこらえが効かない時があるからな。三つ釣り大変だろうけど頑張ってくれ。
Yeah, you never know when Shinji's going to snap. Hey, Mitsuzuri, I know it's probably tough, but do your best, alright?
はいはい。けどね、シンジって懲りないでしょ。また遠坂に声をかけて振られた日には、今度こそ遠坂本人に何かしそうでさ。
Yeah, but Shinji never learns, does he? I'm worried that the next time he gets rejected, this time he might do something to Tosaka herself. I keep noticing that these hands are not being run.
いや、いくらシンジでも振られた相手には近寄らないだろう。あいつそのあたりはちゃんとしてるぞ。
No, even Shinji wouldn't approach somebody who turned him down. He's pretty good about stuff like that. He hits his own family. No. Anything's fair game.
けど相手が近寄ってくるんだからしょうがないじゃない。遠坂さ、なんか知らないけど、うちの道場をよく見学に来るのよ。エミヤは辞めちゃったから知らないだろうけどね。
But if she shows up in front of him, he can't help that, can he? I don't know why, but Tosaka comes by to watch us practice all the time. Though since you quit, you wouldn't know about that, would you? That's the first I've heard of that. Because of her circumstances at home or something, Tosaka never does any club activities. Since she turned down a recommendation to the student council for the same reason, I always figured that she went straight home after school.
ま、たまにはそれもいいか。あいつもお高く止まってるし、一度ぐらいは痛い目に遭うのもいいかもね。お気の毒様っていうか、ご愁傷様っていうか。
Oh well, I guess that's fine every once in a while. She's always putting on airs, so if she has a hard time for once, maybe that's fine. I have nothing but sympathy for her, of course. Mitsuzuri says something kind of disturbing. Come to think of it, you wouldn't know it, but they say that Tosaka has a lot of enemies. Could Mitsuzuri be one of them?
おい、三つ釣り。いくらなんでもそれは。
Hey, Mitsuzuri, say what you like, but isn't that a little...
あ、そろそろ時間だ。じゃあね、エミヤ。今度私の弓の調子見に来てよ。
Oh, it's about time for me to get going. Later, Emiya. Come and watch me shoot sometime. Mitsuzuri hurriedly runs off.
相変わらずだな、あいつ。
She's the same as always. But I've liked the way that she's decisive like that for as long as I've known her. With a calm feeling that I don't entirely understand, I turn my legs towards the classroom. And, yeah, about a minute short, but it seems like a good place to end it. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, see you next time, and, just remember that Shinji Matou is the worst. It can be hard not letting yourself swear sometimes.